So when I first started pursuing Jesus, I was about 22 years old and attending a small church in Fredonia, New York. Now, not unlike other churches, this church emphasized the grace, mercy, and love displayed through Jesus Christ. But unlike other churches, the leadership of this church had experienced the radical grace of Jesus in a unique way. You see, Jeff, the preacher, had actually gone to prison for a time due to a violent crime. And while in jail, Jeff encountered Jesus for the first time, studied his life, and eventually made the decision to obey his teachings and callings and surrendering to him. When he got out of prison, he entered the ministry for a heart with people just like him, with that same background. So Jeff, after establishing his church in Fredonia, would organize trips to the local penitentiary to evangelize and reach people that society may have thought to be too far gone. He established a thriving and personal prison ministry at his church. And I remember him telling us on Thursday nights when we would gather together that every now and then, both within and outside of his congregation, he would hear the following sentiment, this statement: "I can't believe you go to those people." When I bring up this statement, it's not to judge my brothers and sisters, but rather to point out that this mindset not only exists, but is a lot more common than we think, even within circles of Christianity. It can be tempting to think that our lives aren't as bad as someone else's, or that certain people don't deserve a second chance. Today's scripture deals with a prophet who didn't want to go to those people. Today's scripture deals with the difficult situation that we can find ourselves in when our call to obedience brushes up against our pain, trauma, and our own personal feelings. Today we're going to be in Jonah chapter 1. And Jonah, the main figure and prophet of our scripture this morning, did not appreciate God's call for him to rise up and go preach to a place called Nineveh. For Jonah, Nineveh were those people. And those people were undeserving of a second chance, at least in his mind. No matter where you're at this morning, no matter what you've walked through the doors with, I want you to both remember the incredible grace, mercy, and love of our God, and commit yourselves to demonstrating that grace to others. Because to him, no one is beyond a second chance. And that's because the God that we serve is a God of redemption. Our God is the God of second chances. Our God is the God of second chances.